Hello friends, welcome back in this video channel. My name is Mr. Sujit Kumar. I am working as assistant professor in automation and robotics department, Sharad Institute of Technology College of Engineering, and in this video lecture we will see the need of robots. In previous video we have learned the definition of automation, the definition of robotics, the definition of robot, then the different components of robot. Now, in this video lecture, we are going to learn the need of robot. Why robots are needed nowadays? So, whenever there is a hazardous and inaccessible non-manufacturing environments, there is a need of robots. Now, if you take any example of hazardous, for example, if there is a chemical industry where the acids are hazardous, or the place where inaccessible for manufacturing environment, we can use robots. There is a need of robot. So there are some manual operation in manufacturing that are characterized as unsafe, hazardous, uncomfortable, or unpleasant for the human worker who perform them have traditionally been ideal candidates for the robot application. For example, foundry. Foundry is the best example where which is not suited, which is unsafe, because in foundry there is some unsafe environment that hot metal can may move here and there, because of which it may be hazardous to that worker. It is uncomfortable because the unpleasant odor is there, so that worker can't do that work repeatedly for a long time. So die casting, hot forging, spray painting, arc welding, these are the examples where we can use a robot nowadays. Especially in automobile industries, we are using robots for arc welding, spot welding, spray painting. Especially in case of spray painting, the paint is converted into very fine particle, and if we inhale that paint, it may cause the problems with lungs. That's why we must use robots. One more example which is shown here, underground coal mining. So the sources of dangers in this field of human includes fire, explosion, poisonous gases, cave-ins and underground floods. So in that particular applications we can use robots. So there is a need of robots. Also, if you want to just find out the different metals, so instead of just extracting that entire mining, so we can use a small robot, and that small robot can detect a soil sample, and by observing that soil sample we can find which are the different metals present in that particular mine. Hazardous utility company operations. The robots have large scope of application in the nuclear wastage cleaning, in nuclear plant, in the electrical wiring, which are dangerous and hazardous to human being, especially in case of nuclear applications where it directly hazardous to human being, where we can replace it with robot. So next need of robot is hazardous and inaccessible non-manufacturing, that is undersea operation. There are some operations we can perform under sea which represents a rather hostile environment for human being due to principally extreme pressures and currents. Human being cannot handle that pressures and currents. Even when the humans venture into the deep, they are limited in terms of mobility and the length of time they can remain underwater. It seems much safer and more comfortable to assign aquatic robots to perform whatever task must be done underwater. Robot in space. In previous video lecture, I gave the reference of Chandrayaan 3. So robots are extensively used in space. Space is which is one of the important application or need of robots, where the environments of human is not inhospitable. So instead of extremely high pressure or low pressure in deep water or in space, there is virtually no pressure in outer space. Therefore, this space field is one of the important largest application of robots. Industrial application, which is very important application. Industrial robots are used to assemble the vehicle parts, as the assembly of machining parts is a repetitive task to the perform, and robots are conveniently used instead of using mankind. So if a task is given to man, that is repetitive task, so sometimes that man cannot work that assigned task repeatedly. So this task robots can perform very easily, especially in case of automobile industry, which is one of the largest users of robots nowadays, which automate the production of various components and then help assemble them on the finished vehicle. Car production is the primary example of the employment of large and complex robots for producing products. Robots are used in that process for the painting, welding, and assembly of the car. As I told you previously, an automobile consists of more than 10,000 welds. So that 10,000 welds robot can do very precisely within a short span of time. Robots are good for such tasks because the task can be accurately defined and must be performed the same every time with little need of feedback to search control the exact process being performed. Material transfer, machine loading and unloading. This is very important need of robot. There are some applications where we have to transfer the material, so which require the robot to move that work part from one place to another place. The most basics of this application is where the robot picks the part from one position and it transfers it to another position. In other application, the robot is generally used to load and unload the component. Service industry. In addition to manufacturing the robot applications, one is the retail robots, third one is the fast food restaurants, where the robot is delivering that fast food in restaurant, garbage collection in waste disposal operation, which is very important nowadays, because in waste disposal operation the human being cannot handle that wastage. Robot can handle that wastage easily. Cargo handling, loading and distribution operation. Security guards, robot is working as security guard also. It is not allowing other persons to enter in the premises of the owner. Medical care and hospital duties, which is now very important application of robots. Agriculture robots, household robots, etc. Medical applications. The medical applications of robots includes nanorobots, swarm robots, which does surgery, that is complex surgery and operations using the knowledge of robots. Robots for paralyzed patients. We are using robot for paralyzed patients also. So the next important point is laws of robots. So Asimov had proposed three laws of robots. So these are the three laws of robots which are presented in front of you. First law is a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot should not injure human being. Even if we give command to the robot injure a human being, a robot should not injure a human being. Or when a robot is not in action, robot should not allow human being to come to harm. In any case, the robot should not harm to human being. This is the law number 1. Second law of robot states that A robot must obey order given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. It means that whenever a programmer gives the order to the robot, then the robot must obey that order unless and until it conflicts with first law. Means if a programmer is giving order to harm human being, the robot should not do. Okay, it it may disobey that order, but other orders robot has to obey. This is the law number 2. Third law: a robot must protect its own existence as long as such as protection does not conflict with first law. This is third law of robots. Robot must protect its existence unless and until it does not conflict with the first law. So here we'll stop here. Thank you.